All right. Good morning, guys and girls. Whatever your case may be, good afternoon. We're going to do a little review today on the tracker boat, my new boat. That's the 2072. It's called a Grizzly. Oh, well. Got the 4-stroke, a Mercury 150 on there. Of course, it's made by the tracker. All whaled. And we're going to do talk a little bit today about some stuff and what I have, what I've added, and what I still need to add, and how everything's doing. And but for the most part, everything's pretty good. So start off with, I got the monster rod holders here. I think these is a 35 angles here. I got 4 of these. I got 2 on this side, 2 on the other side, and then the ones up here is the 45s with the multi-bar rack. Got the little bimini top up here. Got me a little cheap cutting board from Bass Pro Shop. I say cheap, I think I paid about $30 for it. But it comes with a little stand. The stand wouldn't fit on here, so I didn't use the stand. I'm actually going to go to the Catfish Conference, and the same guys that make the multi-bars actually makes a stand for this. So I'm going to get one when I go up to the Catfish Conference. So I'm going to climb over in here, and we're going to do a little walk around here. The trolling motor here is the Ultra Makota. It's the wired for the 24 volt. It holds this boat. I've been in the Mississippi River in about 4 or 5 mile an hour current. It does a good job on that. Been up on the Tennessee River behind Pickwick Dam. I mean, I was right under the generators, and it done fine there. I mean, you're going to get some tail twist, but other than that, I mean, the motor's going to hold you fine. Got the live scope, the hummingbird here, or not the hummingbird, but the Garmin. Got the little Garmin live scope there. I hardly ever use that. I just basically kind of use that for my crappie videos and stuff. I tell you what, I got the Millennium seats for this dude. The sales guy that I bought this boat from, he highly recommended these seats, and I was like, I don't know. But I tell you what, after I've had these things, I've had this boat now for 7 months. And I tell you what, after having this boat for 7 months, and I can fish in this boat, sitting in these chairs for 4, 5, 6 hours, and I have no back issues. And anybody that really knows me knows I have some back problems. Let's see here. I've got several little things here that I'm going to kind of show you, but for the summertime anyways, let me start with the best little thing feature I got on here. Here's my little fan for hot days like today. It's supposed to get up to about 98 degrees today, but you got to have you one of these little misting fans. I ain't got no batteries in it right now because I have my batteries on charge. I ain't putting my batteries in there. But need to get you one of them, that's for darn sure. And basically you just take your little 5-gallon bucket, fill it up with water, dip your hose down in there, and turn it on. And it's got 3 settings for the fan, and it's got 3 settings for the mist. Normally what I do is I put the fan on 2, on speed number 2, and I do the mist on speed 1, because you try to put it on more than 1, you're gonna get soaking wet. um got me some little cup holders here from Bass Pro Shop. Let's see here. And it's pretty good little dudes. I think I paid about 25-30 bucks for there, and they just clip on to something. I mainly just put junk in them, really, instead of dealing with using them for like cups and stuff. As you see, they just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. My little small bait tank, I guess you could say, for like I use it to put bluegill in when I'm catfishing. Put my bluegill in there, and this little Home Depot bucket, I use it for my trash can. And then I got my live well here. I don't know how big of a fish this thing's gonna hold, but I think that live well is about 48 inches long. I'm gonna say about 48 inches. I'm not exactly sure on that. I need to measure that thing and see. But anyways, back to the fan. This fan, I can't say enough about this fan. With it being on speed number 2 with the fan, I've fished for 6 hours. And the mist on 1, I've run it for 6 hours with the batteries that I've got, which is these little batteries right here. Before they die, 6 hours. I get about 6 hours out of them. Another thing, I got my this little tackle box here is full of like bluegill, brim, crappie gear, and then the one beside it there, that's all my catfish stuff, hooks, sinkers, and a few sinkers, swivels, stuff like that. This little dude here, little ammunition box, that's my weight box. Keep all my weights in. I need to get me some more of these. They got them on sale at Lowe's. I seen the other day. I just hadn't bought me none, but I seen them the other day. And that's my cutting board from the top up here. This is my little remote for my trolling motor back there. It comes with this little cushion. Of course, I got 2 or 3 fish grippers on here. These here is the ones that I've got. That's the best one so far that I've got. Now, I got Mr. Mike over at Catfish Pro. I'm going to talk him into giving me some whenever we go up to the Catfish Conference this year. I'm going to get some from him. Because you can see by my rods, I'm a big Catfish Pro fan. I got a little bit of Catfish Pro everything. He's got some good pliers and some good fish grippers there. Then on the back here, this is what I mainly use for my catfish. I got the Humminbird. I think that's the 10, the size 10, the Helix 10. Of course, you got my little boat pedal over there. You get the heavy boat pedal in your boat for your safety stuff. Got my little anchor back here hid up underneath everything. Just a little 15-pound anchor there. Let me get to these things here. These things here, I run across these dudes. This is the oldest one that I had about 5 years ago. And I think they're called gator claws, gator clamps, something gator. But basically what this is if you're especially crappie fishing or something like that, you pull up to a tree and clamp that dude on there, and it'll hold you. I've got just regular old fishing line tied to the thing. It works. It's done a fine job. And then over here, hooked on my front and my back seat, I got me some little line nips there that I use for when I'm tying up rigs and stuff. My net here in the floorboard is just a little old cheap Walmart net. Let me get over here where we can see it just a little bit better. I got to get me another net. I'm going to get with Mr. Steve Douglas at the Catfish Conference this year and get the, I think it's called the HD80. I'm going to get that from Mr. Steve Douglas this year. Another little thing I've found here just a couple of weeks ago, actually. This little thing right here kind of looks like a fanny pack. I can get this thing unhooked here, but that's actually a life vest. And don't know if you guys know who Bobcat Outdoors is on YouTube, but check his channel out. I seen him wearing one of them things. I'm like, what is that? So I got to research, and I thought that's what it was a flotation device. Let me set it up here and get a good shot of it. But you just basically, you clip it on your waist like a like a fanny pack, and it works. I mean, now this one here is not automatic. If you fall in the water, you actually have to deploy this one yourself. So I like that because that way you can keep it in your boat, you can store it in your boat. You don't have to worry about moisture getting in it and it deploying by itself. I've actually got one in one of these lockers here. I think it may be this one. No, it's that one. There's one down in there that I've got. It's a auto deploy one, and or you can set it up to where it's manual, either way. Well, I had it on auto, and I had it for about 2 months. Rain one day or something, and it got moisture all up in the boat, and it deployed one night. So when I come out the next day, I found it deployed and laying in the boat. So whenever I put another CO2 cartridge in it, I fixed it to where it won't auto deploy, where you have to manually pull the cord. And you can get them at Bass Pro Shop. I think I got that one on Bass Pro Shop on sale for about $69 or so. But man, it's hot out here, guys. I've been out here not even 10 minutes and I'm already wringing wet with sweat. But I'm gonna hop down here and we're gonna walk around here to the other side of the boat and show some stuff. My camera lady, Miss Renee there. She's like, I don't be on no video. So anyways, I got to get me another prop. I fished the river a lot, and you can tell I got a nick there, I got a nick there, I got a nick there. I don't know if I'm gonna go with a stainless steel or not, but I'm checking on some props. They're about $200 for the one that I want. So I got to do that. These straps here on the back, I had on my old boat, so you can buy them at Walmart. I think it's where I bought them for about $20. They're not the straps that come with it. So that's something that I've changed. Like I said, it's the all-well Grizzly tracker, the 2072 there, MVX. I just noticed that MVX right there. I don't know what that stands for. I'm gonna have to pull it up and see what that actually stands for. But I'm gonna run around here. This trailer's holding up pretty good. I like the trailer. It pulls good. Of course, it's a double axle trailer. I got that. I could have got it with the one axle, but I couldn't have put that big of a motor on there. If I got one axle, I could only had a motor on here the size of a 115, and I wanted the bigger motor, so I had to get the double axles. Now, I call these my grandpa steps. A friend of mine that I used to work with, he told me, he said, man, you got to get them steps, man. I can't remember what kind of steps they're actually called. I'm sure you can look them up online there. But I put them on there whenever I bought the boat. Whenever I bought this boat at the Bass Pro Shop in Memphis at the Pyramid down there, and they put them things on there. I don't know, seemed like it was around between $200 and $300, but they're holding up real good. They're doing the job, as they say. Now let me show you this little dude right here. This here is my mount that I'm fixing to show you for my transducer on my live scope. I think they put this on my boat when I bought it, so it come with the boat essentially. I had this is one of my add-ons. I think it was like $550. It's gonna be worth it. So let me get this thing here all set up here. I'll kind of go over a couple of things with it. Let me bolt this down a little bit, snug it. Ooh, it's getting hot out here. Y'all excuse the sweat, because a fat boy gonna sweat just a little bit. Like I said, it's about 90 something degrees out here. But anyways, that's my live scope transducer right there. The pole, it's all aluminum. This is aluminum. The thing about it that I like is, say if you're out crappie fishing or something, and you forget to pull your transducer up out of the water, you hit something with this thing, it's got a little thing here that will automatically, when you hit something, it'll raise it up. And you don't have to do nothing else. It'll do it on its own. But to release it, you just pull that pin there and lock it back in the place there. Now, when I got this, one of the things that was done wrong when they put this boat together, I'm not trying to point no fingers at nobody, but they put this piece here on upside down. So first time that I hit a stump, it was locked in the wrong hole. It was locked into this hole here on the back side back here, and I broke the pole. It bent right here where the little holes are. It's got several holes, which is a weak spot. That's where it bent at. So I had to go to Bass Pro Shop and buy me this black piece right here, a whole new pole. That's the only problem that I've had with it, and of course I learned from that mistake. So now I know to put it on right. I got that issue fixed. Another thing is that we done wrong whenever we first got this boat with this little setup. I've never used a live scope before in my life, so I didn't really know how they actually worked. So the first time that I carried this thing over to the lake and put it in the water, tried to use the live scope. My live scope wasn't working right for some reason. I don't know what I was doing wrong with it. So I seen some other guys that was at the lake crappie fishing, and I was talking to them and looking at their setup. Well, let me say this. I'm not going to mention no names, but somebody put the transducer on upside down. So it was showing everything upside down on the monitor, and I couldn't figure out what was going on with the thing. Well, that's what it was. Some ding dong, I ain't gonna mention no names, put the transducer on upside down. But that was the only problem that I've had with it. But other than that, guys, I don't know what else to really show you. But I'm highly impressed with this boat. I bought this boat to be able to fish out of this boat until I'm 80 years old. Because I plan on fishing until I'm 80, God willing, and the creeks don't rise until I'm 80. So I wanted to buy something that I could get in and out of, say when I'm 60 and 70 years old, that I can get out of easy. Besides, my Little John boat, which is down there. That's the Little John, and we're going to call that the Big John. So I got me a little customized tag off of Amazon, because here in Tennessee we don't have to actually put a tag on the trailers. Some states you do, some states you don't. Tennessee you don't. So I got me a little big cat tag on there. But like I said, I'm very, very well, pleased with this boat and this setup. When I bought this boat, I actually looked at this boat for over a year, almost 2 years actually. And I went down there and looked at it several times, wanted to buy it. In my little boat shed that I keep it in, I've got on one side, I've got about 6 inches to play with on the right side. And on the left side, I've got about 2 foot that I can play with. When I first got the boat, it wouldn't fit in there because the doors wasn't wide enough, so I had to redo the doors. But when I built this shed 2 years ago here on the side of my house, I actually built this shed for this boat. I went down there to the Bass Pro Shop and measured this thing about 3 times. And like I said, it's a tight fit. And front to back, with the tongue on the trailer and everything, if I put my tongue right at the front doors, I mean like 1 inch, I've got about 2 foot in the back to play with where the motor's going to be sticking in. So got to keep them inside, keep them out of the weather as much as I can. A couple of people has been asking me about my truck here, and with it pulling the boat, I have no issues whatsoever with this Tacoma. This is a 2017 Toyota Tacoma 4-wheel drive, the SR5. I have no issues whatsoever pulling this boat with this truck here. Mr. O.D. Milligan going down the road there. Mr. O.D., if you watch this video, hello there, brother. But I don't have no issues pulling this boat with this truck. Now, however, I get about 22 miles to the gallon out of this truck. I've pulled this boat, the furthest that I've pulled it has been about 200 miles. When I put the boat on there, it drops down to about 12 miles to the gallon. I will say that. So I go from 22 to 12. It's a low, but it pulls it. Now, this trailer on this boat here, it actually has the brakes on it. So stopping, I talked to a couple of people and they was like, well, a boat that big, you're probably going to have problems stopping. But I got the brakes on the trailer, so I don't have that problem. I mean, when you go to stop and you pull up to a stop sign or to a stoplight, when you get to about 10 miles an hour, you can feel them trailer brakes kick in, because it almost jolts you when they go to catch. And first couple of times that I had this boat out on a gravel road, and like I said, I got down to about 10 miles an hour going to stop, you could hear those back tires lock up at first in that gravel. So it'll stop you. You ain't gotta worry about that part, that's for sure. So, but with that being said, like I said, I'm very, very impressed with this boat so far. I've had it in the river. It's got a 19 gallon fuel tank. I can fill this tank up here, run up the river to one of the spots that I fish at on the other side of Osceola, Arkansas, from where I'm at. There's a spot up there around some grain elevators that I like to catfish. That's a 2-hour run up there and a 2-hour run back. And I only burn about 3/4 of a tank of gas making it run up there and back. So I don't exactly know what kind of fuel mileage I'm getting on the boat. I've got an app on my phone called a Vessel View app that Mercury has. It tells you, you know, how much fuel you have in your gas tank, how much, what your fuel economy and mileage is. But I don't keep up with it enough to really know it off the top of my head without looking at my app. And it tells you when your boat's due for maintenance, when it needs an oil change, when it needs this, when it needs that. It's hooked up to your motor and tells you anything that you need to know about your motor. That's a good investment to make. I think it's only a couple of $100 for that. They put that on there on the boat when I bought it. So it come with the boat essentially. It don't, but you can get it added on. I had that added on. Like I said, it keeps it with all that stuff. One other thing I want to talk about with this trolling motor here that I kind of missed out. This is, of course, the spot lock trolling motor. With this trolling motor, like I said, I've been up in the balls at Pickwick Dam, right on top of the generators, and I have no problem holding there. Pulling this boat with this trolling motor, wired 24 volts, it'll pull this motor in calm water 4 mile an hour, right at like 3.9. I mean, it's so close to 4, it's unbelievable. So we're just going to call it 4. It'll run on the setting 10, which is wide open, 1 through 10, 10 in the highest. It'll run 4 mile an hour. It's done a great job. So I can't say enough about the thing. Now, I did have one issue with it when I first started using the boat. If I can find my stuff here, I don't know where it's at. That ain't it. But they can make a WD-40. This is just regular WD-40 here, I think. Yeah, this is just a regular, but they make a water resistant WD-40. It's not this one. I think it's in my other box over here. You spray this on this little thing right here on your shaft here, because the first 2 or 3 times that I put this thing in the water, the issue that I was having, this has got the auto deploy and the auto store. So all I got to do is mash a button and it'll automatically put the motor in the water. I don't have to do it. I don't have to touch nothing but the remote. And then I can push a button again and it automatically stores the motor back in the boat. That's a great feature to have. Like I said, when you're 70 or 80 years old, you ain't trying to bend over some damn boat and fall in the water. So that's going to come in real handy. Of course, that's an add-on that I added on. I think that dude there set me back right at $4 grand. So it's not cheap, but you get what you pay for. Like I said, I had to spray this thing down, and there's a boat that actually turns and spins. Let me see if I can get to this boat. I can't see it here. Yeah, it's up under there. But once you deploy it, there's a bolt down in here that spins when you deploy it and store it, to where it pulls this motor to you and back you in and out. Spray that good with WD-40. The problem that I had, like I said, when I first got it, is I pushed the deploy button and it would go up about halfway and it would stop. It would freeze. And what it was is the shaft kind of gets in a bind a little bit. And it would show error code. I think it's error code number 5. If anybody has that problem, that's what it is. It's that shaft. Spray it down with, like I said, with that WD-40. And that will stop your problems. I've had this motor in the water several times. I'm going to say probably at least 100 times since I've had this boat in 7 months. I've sprayed it 1 time. No issues. Now, I sprayed it the last time that I went fishing is a couple of weeks ago, and I sprayed it then. So with that being said, that's, this is actually the WD-40 that I'm talking about. Spray that shaft, and then that bolt there. In fact, I'm gonna squirt it, but just spray it like that right there. And what this is, this stuff here is water resistant. So when you deploy your motor in and out of the water, in and out of the water, in and out of the water, if you do that with the regular WD-40, after you do that 2 or 3 times, it's all gonna wash off, and you're back to start. So, but if you buy this is water resistant or whatever. It's quick drying. You can spray it on there. You don't have to worry about that issue with it getting wet and washing off. So get you some of that for sure. For any of your trolling motor issues, really, that you're going, it makes it easier for it to, for it to go in and out, deploy and store. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys watching this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You watched this video this far, share this video with your friends. They may have some issues and maybe want to look at this boat. This is my setup. Like I said, I'm highly, highly impressed with it. But this is John Boat Robert with another video. Not exactly a fishing video. We're going to call this a review video. But peace.